Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today we got a very special unboxing, something coming in. Told you I was working on something and this might be it, so let's take a look together. Alright, today I'm opening up my box with my Brown Knives Mini FSD-I. This is with the inset liner lock right there, which is one of my favorite knives. So let's go ahead and open this up. Oh, there's a couple of things in here. I was not expecting that. Okay. I don't know what that is, but we'll take a look at that in a second. This is what this is what we came to look for. It looks similar to a box I might have recently opened, right? Brand new box, not barely, maybe but once been opened for a picture. Yeah, let's look at this together. So I was checking out a knife, you know, I did a review on, and the person happened to have another one. A Mini Cortex, brand new, not used, maybe deployed once or twice, I think he said. Let's do this. This has a fuller, not Damasteel, not Damascus bacon or anything like that, but one of the first Mini Cortexes right here. Let's look at that action. Oh yeah. Blade in there solid. No pivot play. Look at that action. Here. So we can do a slow roll. So there's some that come with the thumb studs and some that come with the fuller. Look at that beautiful milling. I really like that milling pattern. I thought it was beautiful. This is high polish, which, you know, I really dig that. And again, the clip fits that whole milling pattern, as you can see. You've got the flat spot underneath there. All right, so to understand what this is, Mini Cortex Magna Cut, this is number 50 Brown Knives. So this is a Magna Cut number 50 Mini Cortex, and I actually have, now, I don't think I've ever had one, a Brown Knife sticker. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's going to be my first Brown Knives sticker. Now, that's a tool to tune it, knife care and stuff. There's a video on it. I don't think I'm going to need to tune it personally, but you know, it's nice to have the tool. It's also nice to have a case that's never been really used before, so we're going to put that over there so we can put it on our wall of stickers. Oh man, look at this. Now, I believe these come with skiffs. Now, since this is now mine, I'm going to open this up. This is kind of in raw titanium, not anodized. I love this milling pattern. Beautiful carry size and everything. I think it's really neat. What do y'all think? We got a beautiful blade right there. Beautiful blade right there. Magna Cut. Beautiful satin finish. Chamfered on top. Jimping. Let's feel that jimping. Yeah, still, I mean, it's not functional, but it's pretty. It at least tells you where to put my finger is, right? And that's okay. If we really need it to be functional, I can always get a steel file and I could put something on there. But that would be, you know, a choice I would have to make. That action's really smooth. Wow. Oh, that's nice. All right, I just want to, because this is the one I'm told, and I don't know if this is true, and it's just I've heard that he has told some folks that I think he might be, or somebody understood that he might be using skiffs, which I think is awesome because his knives are so good, they deserve it. They really are fantastic knives, and so I would love to see that personally, if you ask me. Now, this first one here, I think is going to be a T15 possibly. Let's see. No, not T15. Maybe a T10. A T10, okay. And the pivot screw is going to be a T8, I'm assuming. T8, okay. So, beautiful milling all the way around. I love all of that. High polish. That's a very short screw. Interesting. Feels like some good amount of Loctite on there. Not too much, but definitely some Loctite. These two look like skiffs. Oh my gosh. First of all, here's the beautiful inset liner lock. There's the screw right there. It comes with an Allen wrench, so I'm wondering where that gets tuned. Must be some sort of tuning that goes on in here. And here we have Mini Cortex, like the brain. Cortex Mini number 50D. I love that. Oh, okay. That's where the screw is. You can tune that. I'm not going to mess with it. Not for me to mess with. Interesting. Very interesting. I don't know what he does there. I think it's brilliant. I think it's pretty cool. So we're going to leave that alone. But we think it's really cool. I am going to clean around it up. And there's a little beautiful ramp right there. There is some Loctite in there, obviously. These must be where they keep the scales inset so they can lock them. Okay, so this is screwed in here is one piece. Screwed in here is another piece. And these would be probably the T10s. I'm assuming T10s, right? Yeah, T10s. Very cool. This is just stinking cool. Now I think, yeah, it's a steel bar, so you don't have to worry about carbonizing it or putting a steel bar insert, but it's a beautiful steel bar, by the way. Beautifully chamfered there. I think that's lovely. That's really nice. And here comes the pivot out. And here is the little cage bearings. And this tells me that we're probably dealing with T 5mm. Let's see. 5mm. No, 3/16. 3/16. Okay. And then we're dealing with 3/16 1mm. Okay. Do I even have those? I have 3/32. Oh, I do. Here we go. Yeah, so that's the size right there. And we'll look at these on the side. Oh, yeah. These are definitely skiffs. You can absolutely tell by the side of it. And let's feel it. Oh, yeah. Those are nice. Yeah, absolutely skiffs. Yeah, the action was fantastic. I got to tell you. I knew Delring aren't terrible, right? They just, over time, they don't wear in. They get all weird and gunky and weird and stuff. And then they become not as enjoyable, sadly. All right, so we're going to clean this up a little bit. I am going to clean the cage bearings up with some alcohol. I just wanted to see the inside of it. There's no reason to tune, to check anything. Everything is really quite fantastic. Now we're just going to clean them up. Just make sure there's no dust in there, which I'm sure there's not. I'm sure there's not at all. But since I took it apart, I'm just going to do this, okay? Just blowing in there, making sure there's nothing in there. Now, it is a little sharp right there and there. I could feel that. Now, I think with the raw, you don't stone wash it, so typically those are deburred. So I don't really like the idea, but I'm going to probably take these off. I don't know if these were T10s. I don't know if he locked these on there. We're not going to mess with that. I don't want to mess with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cover that. So if you're wondering what I'm doing, there's some very sharp edges here, and they weren't really quite sand it. Since this probably wasn't Zerblasted or stone washed or anything, this is raw titanium. Typically, you don't buff this down. I mean, unless they have a buffer and he just runs it over real quick, usually to polish. But most custom makers don't think about it, and it's kind of a bummer because sometimes there are little ergo spots where you can feel it, and it's quite uncomfortable, especially in little sharp areas where your finger engages, especially if you're going to use this knife, which I plan to do. I plan to use this knife. I don't plan this to be a safe queen, so this will go in my pocket. And if these were intended to be safe queens, oops, I guess I didn't get the memo. But I just want to knock off a little of the edge there, and it's just ever so slight. It's like this little part right there, right? All the rest, you can see some of the raw titanium milling lines on there, which I'm fine with. That's all right. I don't care. I just don't want to feel like I'm going to get nicked. Now in here, there's edges, but I don't care about that. It's the one that's facing me where my finger can get into, right? When I'm in here, back here, I don't really care as much. Like, technically, this is not as important because this is going to be sandwiched between the back spacer. I do care about this little spot right here. This will catch you, especially if you're trying to disengage, like I'm trying to engage the lock. My finger's over here. I'll run across that. I'll take a look, see what it looks like now that I sanded it. Much smoother. Nice. Yeah. Just this little part. I don't want it where it engages the tang. Just a little, the very tip. Good. All right. That to me is important. Little finishes like that. And I get why it's not like that. This is raw. I love raw. I think it's beautiful. But those are your trade-offs, right? When you have a raw type of scale like this, those are the trade-offs that you are going to deal with. Very much potential to have that. So just keep that in mind. So you may ask me, like, what were you doing? Why did you do all of that? Well, it had edges. So when you get a raw titanium knife, and typically you have to really request this, right? Because when you say, hey, I want it unpolished, I want it raw, I don't want it Zerblasted, I don't want it, all different things that typically they would do. And the Zerblast will make the knife darker. It will. It'll just make it darker by the process, because Zerblast is usually so you have bead blasted, and then you have what they're called like super small zirconium or zirconium balls or something. I don't know. I forget how it works. I'm probably totally saying this wrong, but it's a finer version of bead blasted, from what I understand. And of course, I could probably be 100% wrong. So if I am, of course, I hope some of you guys will correct me and give me the correct information, because I don't want to spread the wrong information, because that's not what I want to do. I want to get the right information out there. And if I happen to look it up and find out that Zerblasted means something completely different, I'll try to have it up here. All right, so you guys all know. And we can all learn together. Because here's the reality. I'm always learning. I'm always learning. This whole knife journey thing for me, if you didn't know, is a journey of learning. That's one of the reasons why I really enjoy it. I like to learn. I like to find out. I like to discover new things. And to me, that it brings me a lot of joy. It really does. I don't know about you guys, if that's something that you find joyful, entertaining. I hope so, because, you know, that's part of the process. I have a new cloth, I thought. Oh, there it is. I must have stained it. But I wanted to make sure I cleaned everything off. Here we go. Okay, so now we're nice and clean. All the little finishes. Remember in my original video, I said it was a little sharp on the edges over there. Some things that I noticed, and I've taken care of that. All I did was 1500 grit sandpaper, covered everything else. Typically, I would take everything apart and I work the edges very carefully. But I was having a hard time getting that inset liner lock out, and I did not want to damage the screws. Personally, the tuning was fine for me, so I worked around it by covering parts of it and just adjusting the rest, right? This knife is so well tuned right now. There's no benefit in me adjusting anything. If there were issues, I might get a little more aggressive with it, right? Now, it does have a dark washed back spacer as opposed to everything else on here. So, you know, it kind of matches here a little bit. It does. So maybe that's okay, because everything else is polished. But, you know, I like the Silver Surfer stuff. So who knows? Maybe we'll look at that eventually. But I love this milling pattern, this hexagons with the knurling diamonds inside. I think that's really cool. And I love the fact that there's nothing sharp now. Yeah, under here. Is it still sharp right there? So the wood is not as hard as the titanium, so I'm not worried about scratching the titanium with the wood. That's one of the reasons why I use that, in case you're curious. That way I can make sure I'm not scratching the rest of the knife. And I'm just doing very, very lightly. That little corner right there. You're going to be a little challenging, aren't you? Oh, yeah. Much better. Oh, there's that one little spot right there. All right, I'm going to use my scope here and look at this real quick. Yeah. That's much better. So raw, like I said, raw titanium is going to be like usually unfinished, not Zerblasted, not stonewashed, not buffed out or anything like that. And that's what this is. I ordered a Rob Johnson's from Latvia, very similar. I had to use my Dremel to polish all that out. Now I took the pieces apart. I couldn't get that inset liner lock out, so I'm not. Screws were stuck, so I didn't want to risk it. I don't know if he had super glued Loctite them, like Loctite. I use 242, maybe 244, whatever it is, or 243 or 222, or I forget what it is. It's the one that's super strong. That's a little bit. I put a lot of oil in there, probably more than I meant to at first, but it'll clean up. I feel like it's getting on part of the lock bar here. So here we go. Yeah. I gotta be done. I gotta be done. Sorry. Details, details, details. It's hard to want to stop once you start. All right. Dead nut centered. Let's take a look at this beauty here. There's that beautiful blade. This is not bacon Damascus or Dodama steel, so this is regular steel. Magna cut, hollow grind, beautiful. Chamfered on top. The jimping here just tells you where your finger is. Really doesn't, not functional, but it's beautiful. Scales are gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. I love it. Polished like this, where it hasn't been zerb blasted or stone washed or anything. The backspacer has been stone washed like the rest of the blade here. Top part up here. And then we have back here, you can see the backspacer, and the inside here, the backspacer. And then the clips, these were all pretty raw as well. Even all the way up here, these edges were very, very sharp. So we did buff that out a little bit. And then we have the captive pivot, as you can see. And it was kind of edgy all the way around, which was interesting. And it was edgy all the way around here. And the clip was catchy and sharp here, which is not usually comfortable, right? And then inside, we already showed you the inside of the blade material. And then you have it over here with the inset liner lock. Not a lot of weight relief in here. Balance is going to be about right there. Get out here a little bit. About right there, right? Oh, we didn't do, hold on. We didn't do the lockup. So now it looks like it's not locked up because if you look at this part, but there's this little piece right here. And that's the part that is engaged over here. Let me see if I can get enough. So I don't know if you can see that. That's the lockup right there. So we're at 10%. It could give you an illusion that it's not locked up, but you have to see it right there. Right? It is engaged. So don't be deceived by that. It may not look like it's not locked up, but it is. And that happens if I roll it, it locks right there. Still solid. No blade play. Reverse. See that? Here, we'll do it over here, like that. Just beautiful. Oh, and there's the clip. That's in and out of the pocket. There's a little flat spot underneath there. I don't know if you can see that. I believe there's a flat spot. Is there? There's not. There's not a flat spot. Okay, that's good to know. All right, so just keep that in mind. There's no flat spot under there. That may catch a little bit, but that's all right. It's a pretty light clip. There's the screws for the inset liner lock right there. They come through over here, and they are in really tight. So I don't know. I don't know if you have to heat them up to release them or not, but there you go. All right, so here's the knife. Get a nice picture of it. Kind of highlight all the hollow grind and the beauty of the knife and everything. I think it's absolutely stunning. Let's look at the back. You always notice how that milling pattern on the clip matches the milling pattern on the scale. I think that's really nice. Don't you? All right. So that is the Mini Cortex. Beautiful little knife that's now in my collection. To be fair, I like the Cortex XL, but I really dig this knife. Really dig this size. This is kind of like that really nice concealed little knife. Now, some people are like, well, it's not as much material and whatever. No, this one's also a little contoured, which I really like. There's a contoured shape on there. It's a lot of milling going on, right? This one. So I think that's really nice. All right. I'm going to have to edit this puppy down because this is a long video. You can probably see a lot of editing here. But hey, if you found this content fun, interesting, worthwhile, or informative, would you please consider hitting the like button down below? And if you already hit that like button, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button. Subscribing, liking the channel. It does help. I'm serious. It does. It helps me out a lot. It allows me to channel grow, for me to do more things. Ultimately, more things for you guys. So thank you to everyone out there who watches the videos, who's part of the community, who's on the live stream. I appreciate every one of you guys. Thank you so much. If you haven't already, maybe consider hitting the notification button down below as well. You'll be notified of future videos and future content like this and other videos. Big shout out to my channel members. I appreciate you do two things. One, being members, you encourage me, so thank you. Sincerely, thank you. Two, because of your generous support of your memberships, you allow me to do things way sooner than I thought I could. So I'm very grateful for that. So thank you. As a result of that, I want to do two things for you guys, right? One, brand new channel members, email me your name and address so I can mail you a channel sticker and a thank you note. That's right. Brand new channel members, email me your name and address. I'd love to mail you a channel sticker and a thank you note. Secondly, all members are eligible for the once a month members exclusive giveaway. So each week we have a budget banger giveaway. Then that 1 week in a month, there'll be 2 giveaways and you are eligible for both, right? And the members giveaway is a little nicer than the regular giveaway, the budget banger. It is hopefully something you would enjoy winning or giving as a gift. It's my way to say thank you. If any of that sounds cool or interesting, there is a link down below in the description on how to become a member. I have 3 different tiers. Would love to have you, but don't do it because you feel pressured in any way. But if you choose to do so, thank you. Sincerely, thank you. And if you're asking, hey, I thought there's special emojis that you get. Yes, you get emojis on live streams and comments. Yes. I thought there's exclusive content. Yes, that's true. I thought there was like 1 year, 2 year anniversary stuff. Yep, absolutely true. And 3 year coming up. I thought there was kazoo salutes on the live streams. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. I want to just say thank you to you guys. I could never repay you back for how you support your channel, but you do help this channel become what it is. And you're huge. I don't do this full time. I'm a part-time guy. So your support makes this community, you're a big part of why this community happens. I love the community. I'm fostering a community. I want the community to grow. I appreciate the community. I protect it. But you guys are huge. And so I just want to say thank you. If you haven't already, maybe also consider checking me out on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Again, that's on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day and a great week. Bye.